And now on to another core area of focus. Design has never been more central than it is today. Great design can illuminate a truth, it can change public opinion, and it can persuade customers to take an action. At Adobe, our job is to deliver the apps and services that enable great design, letting you focus less on the tool itself and more on doing what you do so well, which is being creative. The tools that you're about to see represent the next generation of Adobe. These applications are built to make it easier for you to work in today's dynamic design environment, and are built to evolve as quickly as you do. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Jamie Myrold. Jamie's our Vice President of Experience Design at Adobe, and Jamie's going to take you through the latest design innovations. Jamie?
Thanks, Brian. Had a little bit of a debacle getting out of here. Oh my God, Max, right? And we're in Vegas. How's everybody doing? Yeah? This is awesome. All right, so Ash and Eric just shared with you what we've been working on over the past year to enhance and improve our core Creative Cloud applications. And now I get to share with you what we have been working on over the past year to create brand new tools for design. So I head up the global experience design team here at Adobe, which means my team designs all of the tools most of you use every day. And as we design these tools, we are taking into consideration the expanding needs of modern design. Because as we all know, design in its broadest terms has become increasingly more complex. We have more data. There are more immersive technologies, things like machine learning, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality, voice inputs, and on and on and on. All of this is already changing the way we as designers are approaching our work. And the demand for content is exploding, and it has been exploding for quite some time. And the need to communicate our brands beautifully and consistently across multiple screens, devices, and platforms is the new norm. In addition, we now have user expectations have fundamentally changed, and we now have a generation that has grown up on mobile devices, immersive experiences, immersive games, social networks. And we're seeing toddlers learn to touch and navigate on a screen before even learning how to walk. And amid all of this, we are required to create at a much faster pace than ever before. And we are balancing visioning while doing the more tactical aspects of design. And this is difficult to switch the brain in that way. And all the while, we are collaborating across multidisciplinary teams, which requires a lot of communicating, coordinating, and also having the ability to blend both technology and business requirements and needs into the best product experience or brand expression ever. So believe me, because I live and breathe this every day, I understand that this is a lot and that there are intense demands on designers today. So what is Adobe doing to help all of you with this? So as I said earlier, we are creating new tools, which means we are rethinking everything and building these new tools to meet the needs of modern design. At the same time, we are considering the expanding nature of your roles, and we are building these tools with ease of use top of mind, which will enable you to get up to speed and also gain new skills quickly. All right, so those are all my words, and now I want to get into where we're going to be sharing some really cool stuff with you. So let's get started with that. So just to kick it off, 2 years ago at MAX, we shared our vision for reimagining tooling for experience design. And since then, we have been developing the beta of Adobe XD out in the open with the creative community. So for those of you that don't know what XD is an all-in-one solution to design, prototype, and share beautifully crafted apps, websites, and screen experiences of all kinds. And XD is built around the following core concepts. So it puts experience first, which means it's approachable and it's easy to use. It is built for performance, which means it is fluid, it is fast, and it is extremely responsive. And the best part of all, as I said, XD has been created in partnership with the creative community. And today, I am beyond thrilled to announce that Adobe XD is officially out of beta and available to all of you to use right now. So this is awesome. Yes! All right, so now we have a video of XD in action, so let's take a look.
At an agency, you're always working against time and fidelity.
The needs of our clients are constantly changing. There are so many different channels. Now you're creating a whole package of assets.
Typically, in order to create something, you have to jump from one software program to 6 others in order to finally get the design out there.
So the amount of work that is required to create an entire experience is pretty significant. Our previous process was really ineffectual, and the labor that it took to get there was beyond.
In order to remain competitive and efficient in the digital space, we needed to make some kind of change. XD was recommended by one of the designers who came in, and I quickly became completely enamored with it.
Everything is just contained in one single platform. Production, refining, publishing, commenting.
One of the beauties of XD is this ability to really see this massive canvas of everything for a particular design.
You can zoom in super quickly and just see it, and it's always super crisp, and you never have to wait for anything to load. And then being able to quickly create the grids and auto-populate it and adjust the gutters and the widths of the grids, it's amazing. It's changed the way we're able to work.
The first thing that I was kind of wowed over is just the sheer speed of XD. Prototyping is so fast.
We had our first prototype within just a couple of hours of giving the brief to the team. Working in XD allowed us to create 64 artboards across 17 iterations of the prototype, accelerate the design process, and explore those ideas at a really quick rate.
We've always felt this real need to punch above our weight, and having a level of efficiency with the tools and the software is everything to a small business like ours.
In a lot of ways, that speed is the thing that allows us to continue being competitive when these websites are growing to 500, 600 pages. XD has just been amazing for that.
It just gives you more time to focus on what you actually want to do, which is create the design.
Awesome. Yep, you can keep clapping. So as you can see, XD is beautiful, it's modern, it's fluid, it's fast, it's responsive. It's just an amazing experience. And so now I want to invite Khoi Vinh, principal designer, up here to the stage with his mad design skills to share with you Adobe XD in a bit more detail.
Whoa. There's a lot of you. Whoa. Okay. Thank you, Jamie. Adobe XD, this is our new all-in-one solution that lets designers like me and you design, prototype, and share beautifully crafted apps, websites, and screen experiences of all kinds. Now, this is a whole new way of working that lets me build really effective design systems. And if you're new to user experience design, it's also perfect. So let's take a look. This is Adobe XD. It's running here on my Mac. It also runs beautifully on Windows. And on both platforms, you'll see the experience itself. It's minimal and it's elegant. And even with all these artboards here, it's lightning fast. Oops. Lightning fast, they said. I don't know why my trackpad is not working. Sorry. Is there another trackpad that I can get here? Sorry, I'm going to have to switch a backup machine. Folks, this is exactly the way I planned it, so don't worry at all. Okay. All right, so where was I? Thank you. Thanks. Lightning fast. There we go, right? Okay. So this all comes from XD being a brand new product. Building this gave us the opportunity to rethink everything. And to show you exactly how, I'd like to do a little bit of design work with you on stage here right now. So this is a new project I've been working on. It's called Flexi. It's an exercise app. And for Flexi, I need to finish designing this one screen over here, which is going to be a gallery of workout locations. Now to finish this design, I'm going to use XD's repeat grid feature, which lets me instantly replicate this card, the thumbnail, the text, all the way down the screen, just like that. Isn't that great? Okay. Saved me a ton of clicks, but I do have a problem. It's just the same image over and over again, which is not very realistic, right? So there's a number of ways I can fix that, but today I'm going to use a new feature we're shipping in XD with this release, and that's support for Creative Cloud libraries built right here into the app right now. So this is perfect because folks on my team are using Creative Cloud, of course. These images are right out of Photoshop. So I'm just going to drag them over to this layout. Sorry, I've got this trackpad in an entirely different place. Right over here. And just like that, everything's going to get updated. I zoomed ahead to something much closer to what I had in mind. Okay. And it's not like these are copies of what you see in that libraries panel. Everything's synced through Creative Cloud. So if I want to make any changes to the images, like this one, for instance, needs a bit of help, I can make them right in Photoshop, and everything's going to update instantly. So let's tab over here to Photoshop. I'm going to open up this image right out of the libraries panel, and then I'm going to crop it, and I'm doing this crisscross applesauce, so please bear with me. And make the figure a little bit more central. And then while I'm here, I'm going to make some changes to the levels to help the image pop a little bit. Okay, now when I hit save, what's going to happen is everything's going to sync through Creative Cloud. Back here, you can see XD is grabbing the latest version of the image, and it's going to drop it into place there, just like that, before I can even finish explaining it, right? So, thank you. So this kind of tight integration, only Adobe can do this, right? And it makes workflow so much simpler. Okay, so now with these images in place, I'm starting to notice that these headlines don't look so great against the photos. So let's tweak the layout a little bit. Get rid of this panel. And then I'm going to shift this down a little bit here. And then I'm going to make room for this text. Let's make it blue so everybody can see it. So you notice I'm only making these changes once. I don't have to do it 4 or 5 different times because XD's repeat grid keeps everything in sync for me, saving me a ton of time. While we're here, let's make this type a little bit smaller too. It's looking a little bit big, or maybe smaller still. So you'll notice that these tweaks I'm making to the type, I'm using what we call the property inspector on the right side here. This is just like the properties panel that Eric mentioned in Illustrator earlier. It's also context aware. So what I'm seeing right now is just text controls because that's what I've got selected on the artboard. Now if I were to click on a shape object like this, I'd only see shape controls. The whole interface is smart like this. It's only showing me what I need to see when I need to see it. And I'm going to actually use another panel that's very similar, the layers panel on the left side here, in order to get this tab bar up above there. So just moved it to the top of the Z index, but you notice I've only got a handful of layers that I need to deal with right now. Even though there's tons of layers in this document, XD really gets out of your way and lets you design. Okay, so now the layout is looking pretty good. I'm going to start turning my attention to some of the colors. I've got these oranges here that I want to replace with this screen, and I'm going to use another new feature we're shipping today. This is called the Assets panel. Now, the Assets panel is a centralized place where I can keep all the elements I want to use over and over, symbols, character styles, and color swatches. So let's make a color swatch out of this green. And then I'm going to apply that to these orange regions right here, just like that. Now, the beautiful thing about this Assets panel is that behind the scenes, it does a ton of work for me. So this is a brand new color swatch, but XD has gone out, it's matched all the other instances of that exact same green, and it's united them behind this brand new color swatch. So if I want to change the color, I can do that globally. So watch as I scrub up and down this color picker. Everything throughout the whole document is changing all together, all at once, right? Even those symbols I created earlier in green, those are updating too. So I'm going to set this as red here. Now, I also want to show you how awesome the Assets panel is at handling type. So this is a sans serif typeface called Active Grotesque that I'm using here. I want to change it up to something a little bit more fun, at least in the headers here. So I'm going to create a character style just like this. And this is going to work just like the color swatch, meaning I'm going to change every instance of Active Grotesque bold, 34 points, to a slab serif typeface I like called Lexia. Now that's going to change there on that screen, of course, but when you know it, it also changes throughout the whole document. Everywhere XD found Active Grotesque bold, 34 points, it's now Lexia black, 34 points, right? This is so powerful. Yes, thank you. This gives me a kind of flexibility that is so terrific because as a designer, I can now think of all of this work that I'm doing, all of these screens, as a design system, as a comprehensive solution. And that is the secret to user experience design. You now know the secret to user experience design. Okay. So now the layout is in good shape. But you know, as a designer, my job doesn't end here, right? I have to think about the interaction as well. I have to think about building a prototype. Now in XD, that's as simple as tabbing over to prototype mode, just like this. And now I get the same artboards, I get the same views, but everything's focused on interaction. I didn't have to export anything, I didn't have to sync anything to a different environment. Everything's right here. Now creating an interactive prototype can be really time-consuming in other apps, but I'll show you how quickly I can add this new screen we designed to this flow. It's just a matter of dragging and dropping from any screen to any other, right, or button to any other. And each time I do that, I get this little pop-up window that gives me options for the transition, the animation, the timing, all of that. And just like that, it's all wired up. So let's see how it works. There's a few different options to do that. First, XD has this desktop preview built right into the app. This is like having a virtual phone or a tablet at your fingertips. It's a great way to make sure everything's coming together. But you really can't beat seeing it on a real device. And that's why we have terrific companion apps. XD for Android and XD for iOS, which I have right here on my phone. Let's go over here and have a look at it. OK, so this is the prototype we just built. When you see it on the device, it really starts to feel real. You see the flow, the interaction, everything is here, including this screen that we just built. Really terrific. Now, thank you. It's really starting to feel like a real, actual app now. And actually, one of the things that happens when you get it on the device is that you start to notice things that you missed earlier. So this screen, for instance, has that new red, but it's kind of hard on the eyes. So let's switch back over here to the desktop, where I'm going to change that really quickly to something a little bit easier to read. I'm going to change this to white. Now, when I make this change, it's going to change here on the desktop, of course. Also updates right there on the phone. No syncing. No exporting, none of that friction. This is the power of an all-in-one system. This is the power of having prototyping right here next to design where it belongs. OK, so the prototype is in good shape, but you know, I work on a team. I work with other designers. There are developers, product managers, all kinds of folks who need to see what I see. So I need to share this prototype with them. In XD, that's super simple. All I have to do is click on this icon here and then create a link. XD is going to grab all these screens, the wiring, the timing, the transitions, everything. It's going to share them online, and it returns this unique link for me. Now, when my teammates open up this link, they're going to see what I see, the same flow, the same screens. Everything's going to work just the way it worked on the device, including the animations, right? And there's our screen. This is a great way for us all to be part of the same design process. We're building the same design system together, after all. And actually, the web interface is great for capturing feedback. I'm going to leave a comment right here. Check out this new color. Now, comments can apply to the whole artboard. In this case, I'm going to pin it to a specific spot so that everybody knows what I mean. Gets published there, my whole team will get notifications. Simple, efficient collaboration. And that's Adobe XD. Design, prototype, and share in an all-in-one system. We are so excited to get this released into your hands. Go get it and go build something awesome today. Thank you.
Thanks, Khoi. So, as you can all see, XD is an amazing experience. And I just wanted to share with all of you that throughout the beta, my team has been using XD to actually design XD, which has been an amazing experience. And as I've said, we've been designing in partnership with the creative community. And I have to say that this partnership has truly pushed XD to become an entirely new way for designers to approach their work. As you saw in both the video and in Khoi's mad design skills showing us XD here on stage, the tools just get out of our way so that we can focus on designing. And sharing and prototyping and sharing for feedback is quick and seamless. Having an all-in-one cross-platform solution for experience design is just a game changer. And as I said earlier, everything Khoi just shared is available today, and it is available on both Mac and Windows. And if you are a Creative Cloud All Apps member, you have XD right now. It's part of your membership. So there's nothing else you need to do except for download it and get started creating with this new awesome tool. If you don't have a membership, XD is also available as a single app plan, which makes it super easy for anyone to sign up and get started using it. All right, so I just wanted to share a bit more about what we're going to be working on XD going forward. So just like the beta, we are going to continue to partner with the creative community as we expand the feature set of XD. Right now, we are focused on enhancing XD's core design and prototyping functionality. In parallel, we are working on collaboration. Broadly, we're working on collaboration, including, and where we're starting, is best-in-class collaboration and handoff for the designer and developer workflow. Okay, so great. With XD, you now have a new modern tool for experience design. So this is awesome for all of you, super cool. But that is not all that we have been working on. We've also been working on creating new modern tooling for graphic design. So graphic design is expanding beyond 2D. The expectation is to show your brand in context and on physical products, but to explore and try out new ideas in this way is hard. It's a lot of work. This requires you to create physical mock-ups or physical prototypes of your product and figure out how to wrap your brand around it, and then set up a photo shoot. Another option for you is to hire and collaborate with a 3D expert. But both of these options are expensive and time-consuming. Another option that we have is to learn 3D ourselves. But let's face it, 3D is hard. It is not approachable to most of us, which is why last year at MAX, we debuted the beta of a new tool for 2D and 3D graphic design. And we called this Project Felix. And I now have another announcement, which is that as of today, Project Felix, now Adobe Dimension, is officially out of beta and available to use right now. Woohoo! Awesome, 2 new tools. So Dimension enables designers to extend their designs to physical products and scenes without having to learn the difficult world of 3D or to set up a photo shoot. And I have to say, as we've been designing and building and developing Dimension over the past year, I've been using it, and it's super fun to use. Having the power to visualize your brands in photorealistic settings without having to set up a photo shoot is absolutely magical. So now, to share this magic with you, I would like to invite Zorana Gee, Group Product Manager, yeah, Zorana fans, up to the stage to share this magic with you.
Thanks, Jamie. I am thrilled to be here today, and so are many of my fellow Dimension teammates that are out there somewhere. There they are, small group. Anyways, we are ecstatic to be here today to be able to share with you guys our first version of Adobe Dimension, a new tool for graphic designers to enable you to create using both 2D and 3D assets. So let's get started. I have this comp here that I've been working on in Illustrator, and I'm really happy with this mood and this theme that I developed. It's for a local organic food company. And what I really want to do is be able to visualize this brand on actual products without needing to have any of this in real life. Typically, really difficult to do before Adobe Dimension. Here in Dimension, I have the ability to visualize my idea, my brand, on these products without actually having to have any of it in real life and having it all look realistic. So what I have here is a comp that I've already built up, and I'm in the final stage of the design of the mode, and it's a render mode. What I want to do is jump into the earlier step, the design mode, and this is where I can show you how I can build some of this up. Okay. So all of these assets that I have here are editable. So I can reposition it, I can reorient it, I can change the lighting, the perspective, the camera, many different aspects, and this is the benefit of working with 3D assets. I can even change the material. Say I wanted to change this honey jar here. Honey jars shouldn't be plastic, it's got to be glass. No problem. I can search through hundreds of materials that are directly inside the application and find the right glass material that I like. I like this one here, I've added that on there. All the presets that we have are editable. So I've added that glass material, and there's many different properties I can change, interior properties, surface properties. But for this particular one, I'm just going to make this a nice amber orange. And there you have it. All right. Now the next thing I want to do is actually add a new product to this lineup. I'm not a 3D expert, so I really don't want to go through the steps of having to learn how to build one up from scratch. So I'm super excited to say that Adobe Stock is a big part of this story in that they're building out their library of contents, of models, materials, as well as lights, all optimized for use inside of Adobe Dimension. I can search license directly here on the site, or I can do so directly inside the application here through the integration of Creative Cloud libraries, right? So I already downloaded a model that I want to use, and it's this chip bag right here. I'll go ahead and drag that to the canvas. All right, let's drag that to the canvas. Now, the really cool thing is all the models that we add are actually editable. And so let me delete this nice little, well, let's go here. All right, so all the materials, all the models that we have are editable. So anytime I can edit it, as you saw me do with the glass material that I placed on the honey jar. However, for this particular model, as you saw in this comp here, I have a pattern that I've designed in Illustrator that I actually want to use. Not a problem. I've actually already dragged this out to CC libraries inside of Illustrator, and now inside of Dimension, I can easily add that pattern onto this object. Go ahead and open the color picker and find this and drag it over here, and there you have it. And the really cool thing is that now this pattern that I've just added is wrapping around the entire geometry of this product. So I can reposition or orient, change it at any time, and it absorbs all the lighting and the effects that I have in this particular scene. All right, the next thing I want to do is I want to add a logo. I want to add a logo, and this logo I've already created in Illustrator that you saw. And what I'm going to do is just drag this out, this logo that I've dropped to CC libraries, and drop it directly on the model, and there you have it. Not only is it just placing where I need it to be, I can reposition it, and you can see it wrapping around the geometry nicely. I can also scale, resize. Go ahead, come on, let's hear it. This is cumbersome, right? For those of you who have done this, who tried to make these things look realistic, having to like skew and transform things, I've done this a lot, trying to get that to look right and realistic is quite challenging, and this definitely saves a ton of steps. So let's get that just to the position that I need, and there you have it. All right, lighting. Dimension makes lighting easy. Essentially, we have hundreds of presets as well, and the presets are also set up as outdoor lighting, indoor lighting, a bunch of studio setups, really easy to use. So I can scroll through here, say I have this wood studio scenario, I can drop that directly on the canvas, and you can see how it's absorbing the browns of that room as well as the different light setup that I have created. But for this particular comp, I actually just want to use a very simple two-front panel softbox studio environment. I drop that on there, and there you have it. Now, one thing that you need to do, especially with lighting and advanced shadows and reflections, et cetera, is this render preview. This render preview is awesome because it gives me the best sort of what you see is what you get experience while working with 3D without needing to go to that final render step. You can get a quick snapshot of how things are looking, the reflection, the refraction, the shadows, et cetera, and then make some decisions about your design. And actually at this point, what I want to do is I want to change the look completely. What I want to do is be able to add a photographic background to this. And again, it is the ability to be able to visualize this design, this idea that I have, in context, in reality, without having to have anything in reality yet. Now, the really cool thing that we do when we bring in a photograph as a background is we're leveraging Adobe Sensei's machine learning algorithms and automatically detecting the environment light, the sunlight if it's there, as well as the camera perspective. All I need to click is OK here. And not only are we going to automatically find that camera perspective, place those objects on the ground, but we're also using the the environment light that is of this photograph and wrapping it around the scene. But there's more here. There's more power here. Essentially, we like to expose the automatic ability to set these controls for you, but you can always come back in here and dig in deeper. The control and the power is there if you need it, but not if you don't. So I can go ahead and rotate this light around if I want the light to be coming from the front to give it a little more perspective and depth. And again, right now this looks good. What I want to do is open up that render preview and take a look at how things are looking. I can even expand this full screen. This will just do a couple passes, and right away I can see things don't look right. I need to actually turn off this reflection, right? This is not a reflective thing, so let's go ahead and just drop that down. And again, wait for that render pass. It just does a couple passes, and it allows me to get that visualization of what this is going to look like before needing to go into that render step. All right, so now this is great. I love it, explored with a different idea. What I want to do is actually go back to my first idea. And again, it's the ability to change major components of my composition and have things look realistic immediately. And again, the power to change and adjust any of these aspects is here. I can always come back around here and rotate the light around if it's a little too bright. The power is there if I need it, but I have a great way of just getting started very quickly. OK, and now I'm ready to kick off that render. So let's go into the render mode. And I'll start that render, and what rendering is doing is automatically calculating for all the shadows, the reflection, the refraction, all that fancy stuff. It's really awesome. The really great thing that we're doing inside of Dimension is that we're automatically generating a Photoshop file here with a bunch of layers to help you jumpstart your work inside of Photoshop. At any point I feel like this render is complete, I can create a snapshot and call it quits. This render here takes about a minute or so, a little bit less than a minute, but so in the interest of time, I've created a render here already inside of Photoshop. Now here in Photoshop, I can treat this just like a photograph, but it's better, because as I mentioned, it comes with a bunch of layers with masks that are separated out all the different components so I can get to work quickly. This is really cool. Say I want to actually cool the greens down a little bit in the tin can. I can easily select this mask component. I'll go ahead and select that, and then I'll add a simple hue-sat adjustment layer. Let's go ahead and bring up the blues a little bit, drop down the greens, and there you have it. I'm done. So here I have a few comps, and you can see how easily it is to create these pre-visualizations of these very different designs. And this helps me communicate all my ideas that I have to my customer or client. And this is the power of using Dimension together with some of your favorite tools. Thank you.
Thanks, Zorana. So, what do you all think? Magical? And fun? I think Zorana was having a blast out here sharing that with you. So, I'm super happy that Dimension is available today to all of you on both Mac and Windows. It makes 3D approachable, enabling you to visualize your ideas on physical products quickly and easily without having to set up a photo shoot. And being able to ideate in this way is just magical. And just like with XD, Creative Cloud All Apps members, you have Dimension. It is part of your membership, so you have it right now. And it is also available as a single app plan, just in case any of you that don't have a membership want to give it a try. All right. Cool, so you now have 2 new, easy-to-use, modern tools to start creating with today. This is pretty cool. But we are not done. I now want to share with you what we have been working on over the past year as we've been working on to broaden creativity to everyone. So we just shared with you new tool for experience design, new tool for graphic design. This next experience is actually for everyone that is looking to be creative. So that is all of you in the audience today. So last year, we introduced Adobe Spark. And Spark, yeah? We already have lots of Spark fans? That's awesome. Yep. So Spark is a solution that makes it super easy for anyone to transform their ideas into stunning visual stories. And it can be used both personally and professionally to create graphics, web pages, and video stories using beautifully crafted templates and layouts that are optimized for social channels. This makes it so easy for anyone to communicate their ideas and stories stunningly across multiple screens, devices, and platforms. And we now have over 7 million people using Spark today. And hopefully, after this keynote, we will have 12,000 more. Because Spark truly opens up creativity for everyone. And over the past year, the Spark team has not been resting. Of course, they have not. They have been working really hard to make Spark even better. So to show you, I would like to invite Michael Ninness from the Spark team up to the stage.
Thank you, Jamie. I don't know about you, I think it's time to spark up this design party, right? Let's get it going. So Adobe Spark, it's an integrated web and mobile solution that makes it easy for everyone to tell their story. Now, my daughter swims for the Santa Barbara Swim Club, so I'd like to share how I use Adobe Spark to promote her club on social media. Today, I can create 3 different Spark formats: Spark Page, Spark Video, and Spark Post. I'm going to take a really quick tour of each format to orient you to Spark. Spark Page is for creating responsive web pages that look beautiful on any device. It's a modern way to create a whole range of digital documents. This is a digital brochure I created to explain about the Spark, the swim club. You can see it does a really wonderful job of showing off beautiful photography, has nice scroll effects, beautiful typography, and so forth. Spark Video is for creating video stories perfect for sharing on social media. I'm going to play a video here I created after a recent swim meet as an event recap, just so you can get a flavor of the type of video stories you can create. Very good. Now, I said earlier that Spark is an integrated web and mobile solution, so it works on the browser. You can create all this content directly in any browser on any desktop. But I also have companion applications for my phone. Here I am on my iPhone. I've got Spark Post, Page, and Video apps. I'm going to open up that same video that we just saw running in the browser. I'm going to make a quick edit just so we can actually see how easy it is to do these types of experiences. So I'm going to go to this slide here. It's a slide-based UX metaphor instead of a complicated timeline. I'm going to add a video onto this slide. I'm going to tap the plus sign. Little joke here. If you can click on a plus sign, you can use Adobe Spark. I'm going to load the video from my device that I captured when I was at the meet. I can use this little playhead to determine where I want the clip to start. I'm going to tap done, and it's going to automatically clip that video and add it to the slide for me. I can go ahead and press play just to kind of get a preview of that particular slide. Good. All right, that last format is Spark Post. Perfect for creating social media graphics. And since I'm on the phone, I'll just stay here and use the iPhone version. Now with Spark Post, you can start from any of the remixable templates in the template feed. You can scroll through here. We add new templates weekly, so you can help you get started. Or I can start from scratch. I'm going to tap that plus button. I'm going to create an inspirational quote post to share on Facebook. I'm going to choose my photo library and choose the image that I want to create a post of. I'll use my daughter. Thank you, Maya, for playing along. We'll choose Facebook. Tap done. And I'm going to want this to be a 2-column layout. So I'm going to tap the layout button, scroll over and choose the 2-column grid, and I can resize that to be asymmetrical. Go ahead and change the crop on that. Pretty simple. All right, let's actually put our quote in here. I'm going to get rid of the shape that's behind this, and I'll use my magic align text option and double tap to paste that quote in. So pretty simple, pretty fast to create nice social media graphics here, looking good. If I want to share that to Facebook, I can do that directly from the app by tapping share and choose the Facebook option. If I need to create a version of this that needs to go to Twitter or Instagram or an Instagram story or Pinterest or whatever, if I tap the resize button, you'll see as I tap on the different sizes, Spark Post does all the heavy lifting of reformatting that design for those particular device social media platforms. Pretty cool. Okay, up until now, the free version of Adobe Spark has included the Spark branding on all the content you create. So if you look in the right corner of the video, there's the Spark watermark. If I go back over to that Spark page, the Spark logo's in the upper left-hand corner. I'm happy to announce that recently we shipped Spark with premium features. And what that allows you to do is to remove the Spark branding and replace it with your own. So you can create custom branded stories across all the Spark formats. Let's take a look at how that works. I haven't even shown it yet, and you're already applauding. That's awesome. I'm going to click the Add Brand button to get this started. And Spark just asks you for what your brand ingredients are. So the first thing is, what's your logo? We'll click that. I'm going to load the Swim Club logo into the system. And on the right-hand side, you start to see previews of the templates and themes that Spark is going to generate for you based on your brand ingredients. Second step is just to add your brand color. I'm going to go ahead and choose the color that it automatically extracted from the logo. And you're starting to see those templates and themes come to life on the right. Last step is to pick a font. I'll go ahead and choose Museo Slab, a nice big bold typeface. And now you're starting to see this come to life again. Normally, I would click the next button, and Spark would generate, for real, the themes and templates against your brand ingredients. That process takes about a minute, so I'm going to switch to an account where I've already completed the brand setup, and we're now looking at the brand manager. What it's done is it's created a set of post templates for you to create projects from. I can, of course, edit these templates or create new ones. It's also generated one-click themes that I can use inside my page and video projects. Now, I don't know about you, to other designers out there, but I think I may have just found a solution for all my friends and family that ask me for design favors. Just saying. All right, so in my ingredients bar, the sidebar here, you can see I can add additional elements to the system. I've already uploaded an alternate version of the logo, a white version of the logo. I can add secondary colors. I can add secondary fonts as well. Now, the real magic of the custom branding functionality is when you see it in context within the editors. So let's jump back over to that Spark page, that digital brochure I created earlier. And this is just using one of the themes in the free version of Spark, the crisp theme. If I scroll up to the top, though, you'll see those themes that the brand manager created for me. And with one click, it reformats that page to use my fonts, my colors, and adds my logos and identity as well. Now, the real magic, awesome. The real magic is also seeing it works across the mobile applications as well. So let's go back to Spark Video. There's that same video we were working on earlier. And again, we'll tap on the Themes button, and there's the branded themes right there in my app waiting for me. Just tap Light, and it does the same thing for the Spark Video as well. If I go all the way to the end, you can see it even adds the logo for the club to the end of it as well. Last but not least, let's go back to Spark Post. If I look at the templates feed and tap on brand, there's a new category here. All those branded templates that we saw in the web browser have been synced to this device already, and I can create new projects from those templates as well. Or I can actually add my brand to any other project that I'd created previously or from the template feed. I'm going to double click on this project, duplicate that. I'll go to my design button, just like you saw in page and video. And with one tap, I'll tap Brandify, and it automatically applies that brand to that design, even knows intelligently where to place that logo so it doesn't cover up the text in the right-hand corner. And there you have it. There's your lightning quick tour of Adobe Spark with premium features, allowing you to create custom branded stories. Hashtag Adobe Spark.
Thanks, Michael. So now I expect you all to brandify this afternoon. So as you can see, Spark makes it so easy for anyone to quickly communicate their ideas and branded stories beautifully. And now all Creative Cloud plans include Spark Premium, so you all can start creating with it today. So yeah, it's awesome. So as you can see, Adobe is committed to bringing you new modern tools for design and creative expression so that you can design faster, expand your skills, and be more creative. And if I haven't said it enough on stage today, everything that we just shared with you is available to you for use right now. So this is truly awesome, and we are so excited to see what you all create with these tools. Thank you.